Hello guys, back again, and of course, today we're going to talk about everybody's favorite thing, and that's the Oculus Rift. Obviously, it's become more of some people contentious topic, but nevertheless, it should be talked about with news about it. So, Oculus Rift told TechCrunch that the sales of their second iteration of the development kit were about 25,000 sold. Talking about total VR units sold is around 85,000 at this point. But of course, this is Delve Kit 2.0 that sold 25,000. It's only been on pre-order basically for about a month since March 19th, so 25,000 in 1 month isn't bad. The $350 second generation display, basically in OLED, is 960 times a 180 resolution on each eye, which is, again, pretty good resolution. But if you take, here's the thing, okay, when people talk about why did Oculus Rift sold to Facebook, and truthfully, did they really need to? Well, when you take in the cost of $350 times 25,000 Delve kits, that comes up to $8.75 million, okay? Not including what they made on the other 60,000 they sold before. And a lot of game companies make money off their system through licensing for their games, okay? So, did they really need to sell to Facebook? No, in my opinion at this point, it is they wanted, the people who started Oculus Rift had a great ideal for a system, had a great, they did a great way of getting it out there, and no one else had done it, pushing it like this, everybody got excited for it, here's what our future is, but eventually all they really wanted to do was get the money to start developing it, get people on board to get attention, and sell it. And they did exactly that. It was just a cash grab. No matter what everybody says at this point, it's quite evident this was just a cash grab. It was, we're going to start a company and we're going to sell it. It happens all the time, actually, in business, especially with technology companies. These people who made a career of this. There's an ideal that no one else has done. They come up with, flesh out what it should be. They show what they have done early on, what it's going to be, which excites everybody, and then they sell it for a lot of money, because a lot of things in the technology world get sold on potential, a lot of times not actually on real numbers, what actually sales could be. And so but there's no arguing to anybody that Facebook overpaid for Oculus Rift. That even if you believe in this technology in the future, they overpaid for this, because where are they going to get their money back for this? Because ultimately, do I think Oculus Rift will be the product that eventually becomes the mass appeal product down the road? Actually, no. A lot of times the people who start are never the ones who actually become the mass appeal product. USB, for example, that everybody uses now, was started by Intel a decade earlier, before Apple was the first one to put it on their computer, and everybody said, boom, it's a big deal. Right, it's how presentation and a lot of things have to happen for something to take off, and public want it. So, do I think that this Oculus Rift is going to be the device that takes off? I don't know. The price point is always going to be a problem with the system. If you can't get this under a price that most people are willing to pay, and right now I consider the Oculus Rift a niche device, because if I show the average person, here's the Oculus Rift, they're going to say, cool, but I'm not going to pay whatever. Again, I don't think this thing is going to be cheap. I just don't. I think this thing could cost as much as a home console. And if that were the case, most average people would go, you know what, that's cool. Maybe down the road this device does some cool things. Maybe it'll get cheaper, but I ain't going to buy that. It'll only be the hardcore who buy this device. Now again, pre-orders are still available for the Dev 2.0. Kits aren't going to be shipped until July. So there you go. It is funny. 2 years ago they've done a Kickstarter, and then this thing gets sold to Facebook. And now it's got, and actually in a lot of ways this system is going to have one of those bad memes, or bad, when you ring the name up, bad thing, people are going to automatically think bad things. Oh, those are the guys who sold, who did a Kickstarter, had people donate, and they sold this thing for a lot of money. Whether they like it or not, they are the first Kickstarter company to sell for that much money, who started something on Kickstarter and then sell it. The Kickstarter, again, is no guarantee that you're ever going to see the product. There's no guarantee you're ever going to, they're ever going to make it, or there's ever going to, you're never going to get it in your hands. Kickstarter is you're donating something, hoping that you promise that if it gets made, you get, if you would have bet on what you donate, this is what you're going to get. And I wonder how much Oculus Rift has tainted Facebook, Kickstarter a little bit for some people, at least in devices themselves. And why there have been a lot of Kickstarters, one thing they don't talk about is there have been a lot of Kickstarters who have actually failed. Again, there's not enough people. There's not people giving money to the pie for everybody to succeed. But Oculus Rift was, again, one of those original things that was different, and it got a lot of attention because it was kind of like the first. And, of course, the name kind of stuck out to people, and bam. So, what do you think about this? How many dev kits? You hoping this is a good thing for Oculus Rift? Like, with that many accounts, that many sold, that they'll get a lot of games made for it. Again, what Oculus Rift needs, and this is one positive with Facebook that you wouldn't get with itself, Oculus Rift needs original killer games on their system that no one else has. And Facebook has the money to able to get them exclusives. Now with competition, I mean, when you talk the video game market, the bigger boys are going to move in, and they are moving in, whether people like it or not. It started years ago when Sony got into PlayStation, Microsoft got in the home console, and now, Amazon's getting their video game division running, and of course they have their own Android. They don't call it a console, so device. And now Facebook's got the Oculus Rift. What does this mean for the future of gaming? Some people would say positive, other people would say negative, because big companies do what big companies do. And big companies don't necessarily look out the best for gamers, as AKA little companies do. Anyway, I've babbled up enough for this video, guys. So what do you think about the Oculus Rift sending this many dev kits? What do you think it means for the system? Heck, at this point, is the system how long do you think it's going to be for the system even hits the light of day? Because while they keep bringing news out about it, there has actually been no actual real date set for it, for this device. And how many of those 25,000 dev kits may have possibly been sold to people who could just afford it, who want to play with it? Anyway, guys, like always, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later.